Hello, 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 YouTube. This is Kim Webb coming back at you guys. I want to talk about the topic of God's grace and His peace. His grace and His peace. So, you know, raising my kids and being a single mother, raising four children, three boys and one girl, it was tough. It was uh, one of the hardest things that I've had ever done in my life was raising my children, making sure everything that I needed to do as a mother, I did. And when you're young and just kind of, going through life, you never really think that, you know, you will have such it was hard. It was difficult because it was a lot of struggling and a lot of um, situations that were draining. I'm speaking about relationships, like romantic relationships, and just not really focusing on God like I should have. I believed in Him, but I didn't live for Him in that way. And I had to just kind of go through life just trying to, do what I need to do for my children. And it was always the hard way. It was always like something had to be going on that, that was a difficult challenge, whatever. So as I got older and I started to trust God more. Now, I always believed in Him. I've always knew who He was. My grandmother made sure we knew who God was. We knew, what He stood for. But when you're younger, like in your 20s and your 30s, you want to party. You want to have what you might call fun, and all that other stuff that you know, really ain't fun when you think about it. When you think, you go back and say, I've had a lot of hangovers, I smoked a lot of reefer, and it's it's pretend, um, like a pretend type of high, but then it wears off. But when you get on God's side and there's a peace that comes over your life, it changes the whole dynamic of how you think and how you move through life. Now, if I knew then what I know now, raising my kids wouldn't have been such a hard task because, you know, God will be moving and He was still moving, but because I was not living that life, I had to learn how to do a lot of things the hard way. So, for all the young mothers and fathers that are raising children, get close to God. Be as close as you can be. Surrender to Him because He will lighten that load. He will lighten that load. And how He does things is so timely and perfect. We couldn't figure it out if we tried to, but that's His grace on our lives. He wants us to have better lives, He wants the best for us. We are the ones that make it hard because we think we can do it better than Him, and we can't. There's no way. So, get your, listen, tell your children about God, tell your grandkids about God. Tell if you got great grandkids, pass that down because that is an essential part of your life getting better and better. The more you trust in Him with all your heart, He wants to bless you. He wants to take care of you. And listen, He adds blessings with no sorrow. That means, sorry about that, my granddaughter's screaming for whatever reason, but He wants us to have the best in life. He is a great Father, and He takes care of us superbly. I don't want for nothing. I don't. And at this point in time, I could really be down in the dumps and feeling some type of way about my condition and all that. To be honest, I don't really think about my cancer like that because I don't really have, on the inside, I don't feel different. I don't feel like my body is breaking down. I'm losing weight because of the medication that I'm taking, not because of the cancer. So my thing is like this. And the reason why I feel like this is because I surrendered to Him. I surrendered to God because stage 4 cancer can be awful and painful. And I don't feel any of that. You know why? Because I trust in God and He takes care of me and He takes care of my children and my grandchildren and my family. Once you surrender everything to Him, He works it out. We don't have the strength, we don't have the wherewithal to work it out like He can. So once you give it to Him, totally give it to Him. Don't give a little bit and then take it back. Give everything to Him. Because once you give everything to Him, He knows you trust Him. And don't try to do His job. Let Him do what He's going to do, period. So I'm saying all that to say this: surrender. Surrender. Because He will fix it. He's going to fix it, not us. He's going to fix it. And once you give it all to Him, He does. He fixes. He fixes it. He fixes it for us. He fixes for everybody around us. So, and let me tell you this testimony real quick. So, it's summertime, and the electricity bill, I pay that. So I'm cautious about how long the the air conditioner is on, or the air, and lights and TVs and all that stuff. So I'm always walking through the house like, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, this and that, and whatever else. So I was feeling like, this bill is going to be high because we kept the air on, the TVs running, and lights and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is, I wasn't looking forward to it. So I called the utility to pay my bill, and I'm like, So I'm calling. They said I had zero balance. I'm not making this up. Zero balance. So I go over to the office today, and they said, oh, yeah, you overpaid, and we did a credit for your utility bill. I said, what? What did you say? She was like, yeah, you overpaid. So we credited to whatever you overpaid to your bill. When you surrender, God has already worked out what you were worried about. Because I was worried about that. I was really concerned, like, this is going to be a big one. And it turned out to be zero. God was already working my bill out way before I got worried about it. That's how He does. This is not a joke. This is not anything I'm making up. This is real life situations. So when you have issues and problems and worries, give it to God completely. And that's what He does. He works it out. He works it out perfectly all the time. Not just sometime, not just a little bit, but all the time. He takes that stress away. He takes those worries away. And the more you trust Him, the more He wants to do miracles in your life. We stop it by doubt. We stop the miracles because we don't believe all the way. We believe a little bit when we need to believe completely. Completely. When I say surrender completely, that's shifting your circumstance. When you know God is going to work it out. I told God before I even called the utility place, I said, God, this is in your hands. This is in your hands. And look at what He did. Zero amount. Listen, if I didn't believe before, I believe now. I believe now. I've been believing. He made a believer. For sure, for sure. I knew He can work it out, but I didn't know how. Like, God, if this utility bills, you know, $600-700, what? I didn't have to pay a thing. You can't beat God's giving. When He fix it, He fix it way better than we can. Way better than we can. I'm telling you, my Uncle Joe he preached a message saying you can't beat God's giving. You can't. Because everything that we need, He has. But He's looking at our heart posture. He's looking at, okay, are you ready for this blessing? Can you take this blessing? Can you handle it? He wants us to be ready for it. He got it to give. He don't need it. He got it to give. Get your life in order with God's plan for your life. It took me some time to get here, but I'm here. And I'm thankful that I know God. It makes my life easier. I wake up smiling in the morning. I do. To be around my daughter and my son-in-law. I call him my son-in-law. He's really like my son to me. And my grandkids, that's joy. That's joy to me. My grandkids are so funny. I'm laughing most of the day because of what they say to me and what they do and how they act. But it's a blessing still to be here, to experience that. It's a blessing. So take my word for it. Surrender to God. He supplies all your needs. He will. I did not expect not to have to pay anything on my utility bill. I When I heard 000, I said, "What now, God? 000?" He did that. He did that. God's got miracles for you guys. He got so many miracles for you. Surrender to Him. You're living beneath your privilege when you don't live for God. That's another saying from my Uncle Joe. You're living beneath your privilege because God has the blessings. He's just ready for you to get ready for your blessings. He wants you to be in alignment with what He has for your life. Get in alignment because your life doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't. So that's all I have for today. I love you guys. Keep me in your prayers as I'm keeping you guys in my prayers. Have a great day. I didn't go outside today because, well, I did go outside, but I didn't film outside because it's hot and muggy and I'm tired of sweating. So I will talk to you guys soon. You guys have a great day. Love you. Bye.